Got Speed brought to you by State Farm. I'll tell you who's got speed.
Right on time.
This guy right over here just sprinted over from next door. What were you guys doing over there? A little pre-tape or something? Or?
Yes, we were.
Wow, you guys are so busy. Thank you for spending time with us.
For the Steelers today?
Yes, that's definitely the Steelers.
Well, let's talk about
Magnolia gold, actually. That's yellow.
Okay, well,
For us, it's maize.
Oh, is it?
goldenrod. We've got a Steelers-Ravens matchup. We're talking close. I mean, this is a great game. This
Huge
decides
game.
the AFC North.
I don't know how they do it, but every year they always put these teams that hate one another.
It's great. Last. It makes for great football.
Can you do that?
Yes, I'm allowed to, because I want to get your attention. Do you have more faith in Aaron Rodgers or in Lamar Jackson?
Aaron Rodgers has already beat him once. He beat him early in the season. He had his best game of the year, throwing for almost 300 yards. Lamar coming off an injury. Lamar has had a rough year physically. Nobody more exciting to watch than Lamar.
Yep.
You know, I'll take half of his talent and be happy with it. That's how good this guy is. So, actually, tonight, since he's been out for a while, I would definitely say Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
He has,
okay,
he has the edge.
Derrick Henry has been on a tear as of late. Those 4 rushing touchdowns. He ran all over the Steelers back in Week 14. Who do you think he repeats that performance tonight, Charles?
Well, I'm going to say no matter what happens, just keep feeding him.
Okay.
Because in that first game, he got the ball 25 times, but he rushed for under 100 yards. Now, as a team, you know, combined with Lamar Jackson, you know, they picked up some rushing yards. But I don't care if you got to give it to him 30 times, 35 times, rely on him. Because we saw what happened with the Packers. They just kept feeding him. And Huntley came in, and he was making the quick throws and getting the ball out of his hands. And so for Lamar, I think Lamar has to play the game that same way. He got to get the ball out of his hands, keep feeding Derrick Henry. And if they do that, they win this game.
So T.J. Watt is going to be back, but no DK Metcalf, of course, serving that second game of that 2-game suspension. Jules, that's a massive piece missing for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I think
Terry thinks is going to be better tonight.
I think they need to rely on this offensive line and these running backs, Warren and Gainwell. They need to be able to manufacture some kind of run game, which they've tried all year and they haven't really been successful. But if any time they had to, it's this week, because the longer they are on that field, the longer the big beast of Derrick Henry's not on the field. They have to have those long, sustained drives to keep that offense, because if Lamar puts it all together, he is so dangerous where he could take over a game.
I remember playing in almost all the Super Bowls I played in. I never gave up on the running game.
Yeah.
I remember running Franco Harris, and we were losing, but I still ran the ball. The defense, they have to respect the fact that you're going to run the football,
now,
even if you're not getting anything.
When you say you kept running the ball. When you go to the line of scrimmage,
he was calling plays.
You're checking the run.
I'm running. Yeah, I'm doing all runs. Yeah. I remember in the Ram game, and we're down, and we couldn't get a running game going, but I still ran it. And I think that, to your point, tonight, Henry, I mean, he's just now getting it going, man. What they did against Green Bay last week. Yeah. You know, my only concern, I'm sorry, go ahead. You got something.
In these types of games, like you're saying, like when we had our most success, it would always be because we were running the football. Because when you run the football, you're not winning the game. You're controlling the game.
Yeah, time of possession.
You take the time of possession, and it's whenever it comes to the most important games.
Just listening to these guys who've been to multiple Super Bowls and won, it's like,
I'm sorry, but you know,
you got one.
Show offs.
As a defensive player, if I eliminate in my mind the runs out, we got it. Now we're playing pass.
Yeah.
That's why you keep running.
What's the difference in tonight's game?
Tonight's game, well, it's at home.
I mean, it's in Pittsburgh.
It's going to be Howie and Michael were talking about how many fights there'll be tonight.
I mean,
I think the difference is going to be the North.
Metcalf. Winning, you're in. Losing, you're out.
Yeah. So Charles thinks it's going to be the absence of DK Metcalf.
Yeah, they missed that downfield throws that he got in the first game.
Did you see what they did last week against Cleveland? I was just sitting there watching Arthur Smith, the offensive coordinator for Pittsburgh. Scantling, fade route, Scantling, fade route, Scantling, fade route. And they got worse every time they threw it.
Every single time.
That's what they was doing.
Well, they had too much respect for Myles Garrett and took him out of their offense, I think.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson, 1-3 in Pittsburgh.
1-3. Old Tomlin knows how to play him. T.J. Watt got the lung right.
I don't know.
I like them Steelers.
Just exciting.
We fear them. We fear them because we're sitting here in the studio watching them going, how do you do that? How do you stop that? But they don't. the players and the coaches, we know how to stop
They know how to play them.
Yeah.
It'd be good either way. You're always great.
You know that.
Thank
When you
for
were
hustling.
throwing the javelin, were down to
Don't
that.
make me show you my 5-step
Yeah.
drop right now. Terry and I, javelin throwers right there.
Chunkers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for hustling over here to be with us.
Thank you.
We appreciate you always.
My favorite place.
Appreciate it, TB.
Bomber.
Love you guys. Happy New
Laura,
Year, America.
Is he going to live up to the expectation? Can he do it? And he's finally doing it, along with the help of his coach, Liam Cohen. More on that interview next hour with Christina. Great job, as always, Christina. All right, so let's talk about this Jacksonville team. They take the AFC South with a win over the Titans, and the Texans need a win over the Colts and a Jags loss to get the South. Charles, who wins, Texans or the Jags?
Yeah, well, I think this is probably the easiest question you're going to ask me.
Okay.
The Jags are 12-4 and Houston's 11-5. They're both going to win today. And so that leaves the Jacksonville Jaguars to win the AFC South, so that's what it is.
Okay.
The 0-3 start hurt Houston. They were 2-5 at one point, 3-5. Like that early start, they couldn't catch up to this Jaguars team that just collected wins all year.
All right, well, let's look at Denver then. Denver clinches the 1 seed and the bye with a win over the Chargers today. Jules, who do you like in this one?
I like Denver, and it's because Sean Payton's probably treating this game like, hey, this is like a third preseason game. We need to go out. We need to execute fast. We need to have a good showing for our offense because they're going to have a week off if they take care of this game. So let's leave it all on the field, do everything we can to get this win, look good, look tight.
How important is that? I mean, it
Huge.
feels like it's like an obvious, of course, it's a week off, but like it's massive.
It's massive because your routine as an individual doesn't get impaired when you're when you're at home. You can do everything you've done all season long. You get in the cold tubs, the hot tubs. You have your own time frame. You get to sleep in the bed you're used to.
Mm-hmm.
Your wife's cooking, your girl, whatever. It's just a way easier routine.
Well, that's for somebody that's been to multiple Super Bowls, but for me, I only won one. But the way we went through it, we didn't have the week off. You know, we were the 6th seed, so we had to go on the road each and every game. We didn't have a week off. We had to run through it. So that worked for us. You know, for those guys, it was totally different because of, their dynasty that they were in. Yeah, they were used to it.
A lot of buys.
Yeah.
How was that wife cooking for you?
You know, it was my mom cooked for me.
I love you, Jules. You had a lot of people cooking for you, called chefs. Who do you like in that one, Charles? Broncos or Chargers?
I'm going with the Chargers because they still have something to play for, too. They can still move up to the 5 seed. I think this defense is really playing well. And I think, having a guy who you don't really know much about. I know he was a high pick, but he's bounced around a little bit, and Trey Lance. And so when you don't really game plan or really know anything too much about him, it can throw you off your game a little bit. So I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. If the Broncos lose, New England will get that bye if they beat Miami. So, Charles, do the Patriots hold up their end of the bargain?
Yeah, the Patriots hold up their end of the bargain. This game is at home. Now, if this game was in Miami, the Patriots have problems. A guy like Julian Edelman, back in the day, they go to Miami. He's, popping zins. He's on the beach. You know what I'm saying? They come into the game a little lethargic. I would say Miami, but this game's at home.
Miami has distractions?
Hey, I'm just saying. They're 2-5 on the road, so they got to go up there and play in the cold weather up there in New England. I like the Pats to take care of business.
Well, Charles, in 2019 we played them week 17 last week of the game for the 2 seed
of the season.
We lost to them in Foxborough. So we've lost to them a couple times.
A little bit of experience.
A little experience. So they can't take them lightly, but they're getting Campbell back at tackle. They're getting Milt Williams back on the defensive line. It'll be good to get these guys, get their engines revved.
What I hear from that, though, all jokes aside on Miami, is that they can't take them lightly. I mean,
it's division game.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to show up.
The coach is potentially on the hot seat. He's coaching for his job. Like, I get that.
All right.
But no, Pats are going to win, though.
Final question of the Broncos, Pats, and Jags. Jules, who do you think has the best shot to make the Super Bowl?
I think these Jaguars, for some reason, just look hot to me. They stop the run. They're 1 at that. They take the ball away from teams. They're 2 at that. And they can run the football. And Trevor Lawrence looks as confident as we ever seen him. This guy's using his arm.
Pats fans do not like that you just
He's using. Look, this is Right now, the Pats are playing on house money. We didn't think they were going to get this far. I think they're like a draft away potentially, but anything can happen when you have a great quarterback like Drake May who can make his name in this postseason. But right now, I'm going with the Jags.
One of 4 teams, the Jaguars, to have never made a Super Bowl. Imagine if they do that.
Mark Purnell didn't go.
You'd love it.
Yeah.
And I know the Pats are probably mad that he's not picking them, but
maybe reverse jinx.
They're probably even more perplexed that I'm saying this to Pats. And I look at the Pats team.
I look having his own conversation.
Yeah, just I look at the quarterback. This guy is playing, at an MVP level, and when I watch him throw the football, it seems like a lot of times he's back there in pat and go. He's so poised and so calm, and the ball just floats off of his hands. Very catchable balls. He gets himself in and out of bad situations.
Looks good.
He never is rattled.
He's never rattled. And you're going to need that in these tough games going into the playoffs. You'll need that. Travion Henderson has been a boost for this team. I can see him, picking up chunk yards in a playoff game. So I really like the pass around. A well-coached Vrabel,
yeah.
What a great coach. He's been there before, so I like them.
All three great teams with an opportunity right there to
make
get
names.
that 1 seed and make their road easier to the Super Bowl if they get there. Coming up, wild grabs, but Chicago is in the driver's seat. Bears get it with a win or an Eagles loss. So let's talk about that Eagles-Commanders game. Eagles resting a bunch of guys today. Charles, who do you like in that matchup?
Yeah, I still like the Eagles to win this game. Look, if you're a good team, that means you have good backup players, too. You have good second string. You have good special teams. And so the Eagles, they still have guys that can go out there and perform. I would give the Commanders a chance if Marcus Mariota was playing, but he's not in. So I'm going with the Eagles all the way.
Jules?
I agree. Look, Commanders have been playing with backups all year, right? So I believe more in the Philadelphia backups because they just have a good system and they know how to win sloppy games.
Yeah, this Commanders, year obviously has not gone the way, Jay, that they wanted it to after making the NFC Championship game last year, and then all of these different things have happened for them. There's no question about Dan Quinn's job, right? I know you're going to get into the coaching carousel, but no.
He's not on my coaching carousel. It's interesting, too. I had a talk with their owner, Josh Harris, earlier in the year when things were going sideways, and I was like, look, you got the right guys, culture-wise. I know a lot of these owners want to come in, they get trigger-happy if things don't go well for them, but DQ has a great culture. Adam Peters, phenomenal with personnel. But I think what happened is almost they got trapped with the Giants a couple years ago. They thought they were closer than they were and started getting a bunch of older players in to try and go for it, and that set them back. Obviously, the injuries to the quarterback, but DQ safe.
Dan Quinn, can't say enough good things about him. All right, another great coach, Dan Campbell. You know he is not going to just lie down. I know that he can't make the playoffs, and this Lions team is out, but they're taking on the Bears and Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson today. Jules, who do you like in this one, Bears, Lions?
I like the Bears. What did you say about Ben Johnson? He's
vindictive.
He's vindictive. Bears got whooped by Detroit 52-21 earlier in the season. And I think Ben Johnson thinks about those types of things.
Yeah.
And he's definitely been in his little room drawing up a bunch of crazy plays. And he wants to go get Caleb that 270. So I think the Bears are going to go out for a vengeance right now.
I love it. His favorite musical artist, Tom Petty. His little Petty on that thing.
I like Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Well, I'm petty. I mean, they say don't be bitter, be better.
Yeah, I like Chicago. The Lions are 3-5 on the road this year. And I think that, with Dan Campbell taking over the play calling, and now he's playing against his old coach who's now on the other side of the sideline. He's trying to prove something as well. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he might have a little pettiness as well.
Oh, I like that.
But I like Ben Johnson. I just like the way that Chicago is playing right now. I like the fact that they can run the ball as well as they have been. And the Lions secondary is beat up.
Yeah.
And so I like Chicago.
Oh, guys, I like Chicago, not just this year, but for years and years and years.
Yeah.
They got their quarterback, they got the receivers.
That offensive
line. But they don't have defense. This is all without the type of defensive players that Dennis Allen wants. So as they start to build that up, they're going to be a juggernaut.
But even with that said, they can still take the ball away, which will be huge, coming down.
But that's a testament to the job that Ben.
So much at stake as we take our final regular season ride on the one and only Fox NFL Sunday, presented by the GMC Sierra family of trucks. We are professional grade. Come on in and stay a while, folks. I'm Kurt Menefee. Thanks for being with us. Happy New Year. We may be the last to say it, but we appreciate you being with us as we wrap up the NFL year. And thanks to Gerard Butler, his new movie Greenland 2 Migration is in theaters everywhere on Friday. And I know Larry David may not approve. It's January 4th, but it's the first time we've been together on a Sunday. Happy New Year, boys.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Well, let's celebrate the end of the regular season as we go into the new year. 2 playoff spots still up for grabs, but you could say the finish line for the regular season clearly in sight.
The final sprint to the playoffs is officially underway. Yesterday, the Bucs stayed alive in the race for the NFC South. But today, the Falcons can play spoiler and hand the crown to the Panthers. Last night, the Seahawks outpaced the 49ers and claimed the #1 seed, locking in home field for the rest of the run. Today, the race tightens. In the AFC, it's a 3-team contest for the top seed. The Jags, Pats, and Broncos all remain in the battle. But for Denver, the path is simple. Win, and the first-round bye is theirs. The AFC South remains a dead heat. Jacksonville and Houston are both in, but only one can cross as division champion. The other, a wild card contender. And tonight, the AFC North is still up for grabs. Can the Ravens complete the charge, becoming the 5th team to climb back from 1-5 and fly into the postseason? Or does Aaron Rodgers add another chapter to a Hall of Fame career, leading the Steelers across the line? This is the final sprint to the playoffs.
All right, let's talk about some of the teams that are reaching the finish line as playoff teams and begin with last night's game. Seattle won. They're the #1 seed in the NFC. The question is, are they the best team in the NFC?
I think last night was a cathartic, game for Sam Darnold. Needed a win like that, and their defense was dominant.
Yeah, I think so, because they've been the most consistent team in the NFC.
And they're the hottest team right now as well, and they're resilient, and they won so many different games in so many different ways.
Look at the flip side. Did that loss end the 49ers championship hopes?
I think they've been so beat up, and people just keep going down. It's so hard.
We say that, but man, they're still in there.
Yeah.
You get Pearsall back, who knows? But it is amazing that they're even in this position after all the injuries they've had.
San Fran has belief, and when you have belief, you always have a chance to win.
Yeah.
TB, the Rams, they're kind of stumbling to the finish line, but they're the second betting favorite right now to win the Super Bowl. Are they still contenders?
That's because of their quarterback, Stafford. Look, they have not looked that impressive the last 5 weeks. I would jump all over the Rams because I love their quarterback. Their defense has given up over 30 points the last 2. That's a shock.
Last 5, 6
can't,
weeks.
Yeah, you can't win.
What happened to that defense?
Well, they don't win on the road, and they will have to play on the road. So I think that kind of puts them behind the 8 ball.
All right, let's talk about a team that's going to have at least one home game and may get home field advantage. The Patriots went from 13 losses last year to 13 wins this year, at least. What went right?
Everything.
Schedule?
Everything.
Schedule helps.
Schedule helps, but they're blowing out every team on the schedule.
Yeah, the higher they made a coordinator. The quarterback is he's looking like one of the elite quarterbacks. Great young player, so much more athletic.
Head coach. They got a new head coach.
Yep. Culture.
He came in. Yeah, that for sure.
You mentioned Matthew Stafford.
Right.
He had probably his worst game of the season Monday night. Drake May, on the other side, the same week, threw 5 touchdown passes against the Jets. Is that going to be the difference in the MVP race?
Yeah, are we like the people that picked the national championship bracket?
Yeah,
is it strength of schedule?
I think the league. I don't have anything to back that. I'm just guessing. 17 years in the league of being a great quarterback and having your best year this year, your 17th year. I think they want Matthew to have it. He had it until last week. The other guy in New England had a bad game, man.
But he hasn't had a bad game. And I'm looking at it like this, like golf. You can go in and say, man, I shot a 72. Now, you may have hit 18 of the luckiest shots of your life, but there are no pitchers on the scorecard. Right. Here, they're looking at numbers.
5 touchdowns.
And this kid's
5 touchdowns last
are great.
Yeah. 5 by the third quarter.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the Bucs. The Bucs won yesterday, but they still have to root for Atlanta to lose to win the division today. You see Tampa doing anything if they make the playoffs?
No, I don't. And I'm a Tampa Bay Buc homer. They have no rhyme or reason to what they do. They have no strategy. It's like they go in to every game and they just play street ball. And if you're playing street ball, you're not going to win many games.
Gronk's been trying to talk them into winning for weeks.
I have been, but I gave up on them. I don't think they do any damage at all if they get into the playoffs.
They're filler. Yeah. Someone's got to be there. Might as well,
I mean, it would be a miracle.
Final question. We started by asking if the top-seeded Seahawks were the best team in the NFC. Let's talk about the AFC. Same story. Broncos, they are probably going to be the #1 seed. Are they the best team, or would you take someone else?
Sean Payton, we all love. We worked with Sean. I'd say Houston.
Yeah.
I love Houston's defense. I think I'm a defensive guy. I love defense. To me, that's how you win.
Both great defenses.
Yes.
Denver's at home. Quarterback can be hot, and Sean is great in the playoffs.
Well, you said it earlier. Duval, Jacksonville. I mean, Trevor Lawrence, they went into Denver and beat Denver at home against that great defense. Plus, you look at all these young quarterbacks in Houston and Denver and with the Patriots. Who in the world have the experience? Trevor Lawrence has more experience than all of them as far as the playoffs, making it to a divisional game a few years ago.
All right, we'll talk more about the teams that are in the playoffs and some that aren't, but we also just mentioned the Niners. Brock Purdy got banged up at the end of that game last night. Jay Glazer, the question is, what's the latest with him going forward?
Well, Brock Purdy's fine. They expect him to be good. It is a stinger, a shoulder, neck. I know they showed his thumb as well. Thumb's not an issue, but they think he'll be fine for the playoffs.
All right, Michael's Jaguars have won 7.